Hello, friends. Welcome. I'm Sarah. This is a place for people who are deconstructing their faith or questioning their faith and just want a place to connect. Maybe meet some people who are in the same situation as you. So if you're watching this on the playback, basically I just kind of let the comments go and I read the comments and we chat that way. So there should be a way to make sure you have that turned on. Hey, Marianne. I'm doing well. How are you? Hi, David. Hey, Chip. It's Tuesday, right? Oh, yes. Happy Tuesday. Hello, Cindy. Hey, Rachel. Welcome. Hi, Autumn. Hope everyone is having a good Tuesday. Oh, how was it being back, Marianne? Hi, Raving. Yes, right. Okay. Okay. Oh, that makes like a weird squeaking sound. This is like my like fancy tea bag. I'm sorry you feel that way, Rachel. Just know you've never done anything that has caused infinite harm. So I don't know why you would deserve infinite punishment. Oh, good, Cindy. I'm glad you have the next couple days off work. Did I stream Sunday? I have no memory. I don't know. I don't remember. I I don't I don't know. I have no idea. All the days just run together, I guess. But Justin and I did put out a new episode, so that is live now. Chip, we can lose our memories together. Hi, Jeremiah. Hi, Vaughn. Yeah, Rachel, I believe that you're a good person. Oh, thanks for watching, Marianne. I appreciate it. Hey, Rachel. Now we have two Rachels in here again. I'm very happy for you, James. Oh, well, welcome to YouTube, Jeremiah. Hey, Vivek. Yeah, come for the deconstruction talk, but stay for the cute pets that we have. Is this every day? I only go live Tuesdays and Thursdays usually. That's awesome, Cindy. Hello from Canada. Hey, Michelle. Yeah, Vaughn, the idea of infinite worship does not sound super appealing. Hey, absurdist. Oh, Layla says it's Wednesday. Ah, well, where I am, it's still Tuesday. I guess there's two Jameses. Hi, Sean. Ah, fair enough. Okay. Time for our little filter so we don't get too many weird comments. Great. Oh, I made it 5 minutes. That's not too bad. Thanks, Autumn. Well, for anyone who's new, just a little background. I'm Sarah, and I used to be a Christian, and now I'm not. I grew up Protestant, evangelical, and now I consider myself an agnostic atheist. Yeah. Malurk says, my girlfriend did YouTube. I learned instantly from her being a woman online is a real thing. It's insane. Yeah, it is. It is crazy. Um, yeah. So Vaughn, I don't do any debates on YouTube, although I do bring guests on my TikTok on Saturday nights. Yeah, I do have a different vibe than Justin from Deconstruction Zone. What is this channel? So this, especially this live, is for people who are deconstructing or questioning their faith and looking for some connection, some support. Hi, Eve. Yeah, definitely, Autumn. I mean, Justin at Deconstruction Zone is incredible at debates for sure. Oh, I don't know, E. How did you get over your fear of hell? So for me, I got to a point that I genuinely stopped believing that the Christian God existed. And at that point, I just genuinely stopped believing that there was a hell. Um, can you explain agnostic atheist versus agnostic? Sure. So basically, the way that we talk about it is the term like agnostic or gnostic is describing something a little bit different than atheist or theist. So, atheist or theist, that's about what you believe. And then Gnostic or agnostic, that's what you know for certain. So I say I'm an agnostic atheist because I don't believe in God. I don't think that there is one. But I don't think I could ever really know for sure. Um, yeah, that's why I say agnostic atheist. Oh, no, Flip, really? Yeah, sometimes those can stress me out. Cindy says, I heard on another live this evening that there was a secular humanist Bible called the Good Book. Have you heard of it? I haven't heard of it. Yeah, James says, you can't know there isn't one. You can only be sure that there is one. And without evidence to be sure that there is one, I don't think there is. That was a roundabout way to say that. Yeah, Lydia, it definitely takes a while for most people. Oh, well, good. Flip says, thank you for being here, Sarah. My blood pressure went from 220 to 80 in like 10 seconds. Delighted to hear it. That's what we're here for, reducing blood pressure. Yes, I have heard of the Shroud of Turin. As far as I understand, the evidence points to it originating in the 13th century, I think. Well, that makes sense. William says, I realized I couldn't call myself a Christian when I stopped believing Jesus was the Christ. Yeah, that makes sense. Well, X says, why do people who believe in a God are always the most evil? I just think sometimes the mean ones are the loudest. And I think people who believe in God is such an enormous group that within that group, you're going to get kind people and mean people and sweet people and angry people because it's just such a huge group of people. Hey, Francois. Hey, John, good to see you. Well, that's also true that people are really good at compartmentalization. Yeah. It's going well. Oh, I'm sorry you're not feeling well, Rachel. I have a sleepy puppy keeping me company. Ruby snoozing. You can see what she's done to the blinds. Free. I left a long time ago. Oh, well, yeah, I'm glad it's a good vibe. Oh, well, thanks for the non-judgment of my broken blinds. William says, I came out of high control fundamentalist Christianity about 2 years ago now. It started when I came out to my pastor and a Bible study leader, and they started gossip about me in the church. I lost everyone. Ugh, I'm so sorry. I'm really sorry that happened. Hosey says, who here doesn't have broken blinds? I love the spirit. Yes. That's fair, Chip. That's very fair. Chip says, I already helped you get a power strip. You're on your own for the blinds. And this was, where did it go? Oh, it's right here. People did give me super chats for this new plug that I got. And I'll show you the new plug. Because my old one was like literally had holes in it and was maybe not safe. Yeah, I'm so sorry, Johnny. Yeah, it was a fire hazard. Nope, King, we're not doing that tonight. Well, William, besides like my live, if you haven't yet found the organization, I would really recommend Recovering from Religion. They're an organization that they have a lot of support groups. Some meet in person, some meet online. They have a lot of resources. I would definitely recommend them. I know Justin at Deconstruction Zone has a Discord server you can join. I have a Discord server you can join. If you want to join mine, you have to come find me over on TikTok. But we do have some communities that you can join so that you're not so alone. Hey, Flock, you bet. Well, thank you, Moon. Well, I'm sorry, Johnny, that things are so tough right now. King, if you're still a Christian, this may not be the live for you. This live is for people who are leaving their faith. So if it doesn't make sense to you, that's okay. This live just isn't for you. Oh, hi from India. Do I prefer tea, coffee, or not at all? Coffee, definitely. What doesn't make sense about heaven? One of the big things is the idea of free will. You know, do you have free will in heaven? Because if you do, that would probably lead to sin. But if you don't, can you really experience love if you don't have any choices? Well, thanks, King. You too. Chris says finding shared values with Christians is easier than trying to share beliefs. Yeah, I mean, I certainly think that so many of us have more in common than we give ourselves credit for. Yeah, Leftover says, I don't want to sing in heaven. That always upsets me. We just sang three of the same thing. I have to do this forever. Yeah. Yeah, not everyone enjoys singing. That's totally fair. I have read the Bible all the way through. Oh, I'm so sorry, William. Do I believe there is a Satan? No, I don't. I used to when I was a Christian, but I don't any longer. When did I become a Christian? When I was very young. Absurdist says, funny thing, the more I drink, the better my singing sounds. Well, I mean, maybe there's going to be wine in heaven. That was Jesus's first miracle. Daniel asks, watch your FAQ and you mentioned a catalyst for deconstruction was your grandfather's passing. You also have a strong scientific background though. So did that play into your deconstruction too? Not directly. Not in a way that I could like cognitively see a cause and effect. I deconstructed when I was about halfway through my PhD program. Um, and it wasn't anything related to, I don't know, science or anything like that. So I don't think so, but it's hard to really separate those things. Andrew says, what's the point of doing a live stream and telling people that if they're believers, they shouldn't watch? Isn't that just an echo chamber? So I didn't say you couldn't watch. There was just someone who really wanted to debate. And I said, this probably isn't the live for you. However, that's like saying, if someone goes to an AA meeting, well, why can't sober people just, people who don't struggle with addiction, why can't they just come and make the space about them? I mean, there's a place for finding people with similar experiences so that you can find support. I'm not sure what the issue with that is. Yeah, Vaughn says, is your coffee mug a representation of Starry Night? It is. I did it myself, which is why it's pretty rough. Yeah, right. Soul says, does this mean I can walk into a church and debate on site? Right, yes, you have church that is just for you and your beliefs, and that's okay. Yeah, William says, for a few years, I held on to the hope of seeing my wife again and my sister and parents. But in the last year, I realized it's just something people hold on to for comfort. Justin from Deconstruction Zone has helped. I'm so glad that he's been helpful. Squirrely says, I stopped believing too. It is a cruel God to hold love above my head, but rip it away at the very last second. Kuro says, the very idea of hell led to my deconstruction journey. I told myself, even if God were real, I can't imagine any reality where hell isn't flat out evil. Yeah. Phantom says, did anyone else as a kid go through the feeling that they had to say the sinner's prayer just one more time? I know that is an incredibly common experience. Yeah, I think a lot of us had that experience where we had questions and then harder questions, and when we really started searching, we got these very unsatisfying answers. Oh, yeah, Michelle, the sinner's prayer is a pretty evangelical thing, and it's basically asking Jesus into your heart, essentially. Islam I don't believe that nothing created us. And I actually don't know any atheists who believe that either. Leftover says, need to have like an AA chip in deconstructing. I did not argue with a Christian today. Soul says, the first big one for me was learning about the unforgivable sin. I'd always learned that God forgave all sins. Yeah, and the worst part about that is that Christians don't agree with each other about what the unforgivable sin actually is. So if there is one unforgivable sin, you'd think that God would be crystal clear about it. Well, what is this about an unforgivable sin? Yeah, I now forget where it is. But it's the one sin is like blasphemy of the Holy Spirit that God won't forgive. What's a mesotheist? Slade, I mean, you're welcome to be here. It's just this isn't a space to try to say convert people to your particular religion or like share a testimony. This would not be the place for that. Matthew says, forgetting what the unforgettable sin is the unforgivable sin. Ah, thank you, Soul. It's in Matthew 12. Hi, Emily. Yeah, William, a lot of people who go to Bible college or go to seminary feel that cognitive dissonance or, compartmentalizing issues. And also, a lot of people actually deconstruct in seminary because they're actually seeing information they never saw before. Yeah, Dr. Joe says they often claim that it's clear and direct and obvious while arguing with each other about scripture. Oh, okay. Large says believing that God is evil or antagonistic is a mesotheist. Oh, thanks, Flip. Flip says, I'm loving your exploration of Yahweh's origins with Justin, ties so many loose ends together. Yes, please check out we dropped a new episode today on my page of our Bible study. Marcus, thank you so much for the super chat, Marcus. Marcus says, I made a song for my son about me dying. Check it out, please. Oh my goodness. That sounds very intense, Marcus. Hi, Camilla. Do I do anything with RFR? So I've done a live with them and I love to support them. I don't have like an official role, but I'm really happy to like sing their praises anytime I can. RFR is recovering from religion. It is a great organization for people who are looking for community and just support, since like deconstructing your religion can be so lonely. Kuro says, am I the only one who gets frustrated when Christians swear up and down we weren't sincere? No, I get frustrated with that too. It's such, it's just so dismissive, you know? And especially like when I was a Christian, I was so intense about it, like so incredibly intense. And it feels insulting for Christians to say like, oh, you weren't even a real Christian, or you never really believed, or well, you were just about religion and not relationship. I'm like, nah, man, that's not how it was at all. Did I do an RFRX? I did a live with Skeptical Heretic for RFR. Oh, that's cool, Kyle. Yeah, exactly, Dr. Joe. That you were never a real Christian. Ugh. Eric says, my question as a kid was, why did Paul get personal revelation while he was murdering Christians, but we all have to settle for just believing the book? Yeah, and you know, that ties into, I think, one of the other really frustrating things that Christians will say is, well, it wouldn't matter if God showed you all these miracles, you still wouldn't believe anyway. Like, man, give me a chance. Yeah, William, I really hope you do. And William, I don't know if you use TikTok or not, but if you find me over on TikTok, my DMs are open over there. So you're very welcome to reach out to me over there, and I can help you get connected with some communities and resources. Hey, Winter. What are your thoughts on pagan Old Norse religion? I just don't know a lot about it. So I don't think I know enough to have an educated opinion on it. Yeah, you're so welcome, William. Yeah, Kuro says, I get told that I wasn't a real believer. I was like, bro, I literally cried for you because I thought you were going to burn forever. Us ex-Christians were as sincere as you can get. Mm-hmm. And I think that holds consistent a lot, that people who become ex-Christians, so often we were the ones that took it the most seriously. Like we were the ones who said, no, I'm going to read the whole Bible. Like, no, I'm going to do this is how I get close to God. Okay, I'm going to do it. And then we're the ones that find out that, like, when you peek behind the curtain, what we thought was there wasn't there. Kyle asked, did you ever panic as you began to realize you were losing faith? It's an interesting word, panic. I felt very disoriented, and I remember it being really upsetting. I don't know if I would say panic or not, but I think that that's definitely a common response, honestly. Yeah, Leftover says you can stop people short pretty quickly with the question, have you read it cover to cover? You know, it surprises me how many people get up on Justin's live to debate Justin, and then he'll ask them, have you actually read this whole thing? And they'll say no. And I'm like, what are we doing here? Chris says, I remember being more afraid of God and his pet Satan than I was of being wrong that my beliefs weren't actually true. Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, God in especially in the Old Testament, but honestly, just in the whole Bible, is a pretty scary character. Yeah, Winter says, I remember reading through the whole Bible for the first time at like 12. Yeah. Hmm. Captain says, I broke down crying because I thought my father was going to hell when he died, and he was the kindest person I ever knew, but I knew he didn't follow all the Catholic beliefs my family pushed. Yeah. Man, I feel that a lot. Um, and I think that I mean, that was certainly a turning point for me too. Like losing a loved one who was really good and kind and thinking, it doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense that he would suffer eternally. I never did Teen Mania. I think I did the One Thing conference though. Ah. Duck says, watching you admonish Justin's guests for not reading their book is like a cool breeze on an autumn day. Ah. William says, I feel horrible for how I have felt about family who were not Christian and thinking they were less than. I feel ashamed about it now. You know, William, I think it honestly is a sign of a good and kind person to have the ability to look back on your actions and think, oh God, I should have done that way differently. You know, the fact that you really care about how you treated people. I mean, I think that that demonstrates that you do have a good heart. And also, yes, I feel regret too, about the way that I treated some people and the way that I thought about people. And so, yeah, you're not alone in that. Eric, this isn't a place to try to convert people to your way of thinking. Kuro says, my sister is so genuinely loving but practices pagan spirituality. My brother and best friend are atheists. My mom is bi. I thought to myself, I can't accept that they'd be punished. Yeah, absolutely. Hi, Sharon. Ashley, the definition of a true Christian seems to change from Christian to Christian. Good night, Chip. I stopped believing because it stopped making sense to me. Um, I think for so many Christians, myself included, the Bible makes sense only if you start with these two base assumptions that the Bible is true and that God is good. And you read the Bible through that lens, assuming it's true and assuming God is good. And if you actually question, wait, why do I have those assumptions? How did I arrive at the conclusion that God was good? Why do I think that? Why am I so sure that the Bible is true? How do I know? Um, I think then when you read the Bible with that lens, it's a really different experience. Daniel says, did you ever have to go through the coming out as a non-believer to family and loved ones? I did. Yeah. Yeah, it was a really hard conversation with my parents, for sure. They were very upset. Yeah, that was really hard. Oh, what doesn't make sense to me about heaven is if heaven is supposed to be a place where there is no sin and no suffering and no sadness, do we have free will? Do we have the capability to sin? Do we have the ability to make bad choices? Or are we programmed in a way that we can only make good choices? Daniel says, I still haven't. Yeah, I don't think that you're obligated to share your change in belief. If it makes sense to you and if you feel safe doing so, that's great. And also, I don't think you ever have to. Winter, that is a lot of coming out. Yeah. Salty says, are you agnostic or atheist? Actually, both. I don't believe in God, but I also don't think I can know for sure. Hmm. Cute Puppy says, for a Christian, the terror of heaven can be worse than the fear of hell. You will be judged for your works, and if you fail to convert your loved ones, you'll be forever guilty and missing them. Oh my gosh, Kyle, thank you so much for the super chat. That is incredibly generous. Thank you. Kyle says, I think you are quite amazing and a wonderful newer voice in the community, at least newer for me. I hope you grow to fill more of our space. That's really kind. Thank you, Kyle. I really appreciate it. Yosef says, I agree with you, ex-Muslim here. Welcome. I know most of what we talk about is being ex-Christian, but I definitely have people in here who are also ex-Muslim. So yeah, you're very welcome here. No age alien. What do you not believe? I do not believe that there is a God. Jim says, imagine believing this intricate world happened by mistake without intelligence. Um, yeah, the problem is you're just kicking the can down the road. I agree that our world is very intricate, but if you posit that intricate things must have a creator, then someone has to create your creator. And if you believe God could just exist without any creator, then maybe you can understand why I believe the universe could just exist without any creator. If there's no God, then who created us? Well, my parents created me. Flippin said, and other people who are here for the bunnies. I know Checkers hasn't come in tonight. I don't know what she's up to, but Ruby's snoozling if anyone wants to see Ruby. Brandon, this is a place for people who are deconstructing. And so we do have some rules to keep this a chill live. Like this isn't a debate live. So for people who are putting out comments that are violating the rules, they do get deleted. There are lots of places where you can debate if debate is what you're after. It's just, this is not one of those places. User says, what's the point in living if there is no God? If there is no God, everything is done in vain. The world will pass away and there will be no one to remember anything. Yeah. So I think things are meaningful because we experience them right now. I don't think things have to be eternal in order for them to be meaningful. You know, if you are kind to someone right now, it means something to them. And if you have connection and relationships now, you get to experience those connections and relationship and love, and you get to experience it now, and it means something to you now. I don't think it has to be infinite in order for it to be meaningful. Daniel, thank you so much for the super chat. Daniel says, thanks for the kindness to everyone here. Absolutely. Austin says, explain time. There is no such thing as infinite time. What do you mean? You don't think time could just have always existed? Morality is, we experience morality because we have the ability to experience empathy. And our brains are advanced enough to understand cause and effect. And when you pair that with empathy, we feel big feelings about when we hurt other people because we can feel their pain with them. All you talk about is what you don't believe in. So what do you believe in? Do you believe in anything, or do you believe we came from monkeys? So evolution doesn't say that we came from monkeys. Monkeys and humans are different branches on like the same evolutionary tree. But I do accept the science of evolution. And it's not a belief system. It's a conclusion based on evidence. Peyton, I don't believe in anything supernatural. Alien, I do have a Discord server. There's not a great way to get it on YouTube. If you have TikTok, if you follow me over on TikTok, my DMs are open and I can DM you the link. Yeah, William, the idea that empathy is a sin is wild. Leftover says, may we see the bunny, please? Yes. Let me go find her. Oh, hang on. I have to unplug this. We haven't seen the bunny all live, and we should see her. Oh, excuse me, Rubes. Oh, also, here's Ruby. Snoozling. Did I wake you? I'm sorry. Good girl. Yeah, you're a good baby. Good baby. This is Ruby. She's a Great Pyrenees. She says hello. All right, let's find a little bunny. Oh, there's a little bunny. Okay, let's see. Oh, wait, let me fix that. Hi. Did you come over to say hi? Oh, who's your good buns? Yeah, you're a good bunny, aren't ya? This is Checkers. Hey, you're a sweet girl. Look at her little paws. They're so cute. Sweet bunny. Yeah, you're a good bunny. Good bunny. Oops. There we go. Those are the animals. Oh, Jeremy, thank you so much for the super chat. That's really kind. I appreciate it. Ooh, let me come back down on the couch. Ah! Okay, my bad. It's a very professional live stream we have here. Oh boy, okay. Are you going to be a regular host on the line? I don't know. If they invite me back, I'd be happy to go back. Alexa, I have a whole FAQ playlist. So if y'all go onto my page, there's an FAQ playlist, and one of the first videos is why I don't believe anymore. Peyton, you think that studies from Harvard are just made up? That's strange. How do bunnies and cats get along? Usually well, I think. Oh, you DM'd me on Discord? Perfect. Yep, that works just fine. How is empathy a sin? I don't think it's a sin. It's something that some more conservative Christians have been saying, that basically we have too much empathy. It's not like a widespread Christian teaching. I think it's a very American right-wing talking point. Yeah, Emily, I'm always surprised by the number of people who don't understand evolution. Hi, big girl. Oh, what's in your eye? There you go. Did I get it? Better? Okay. Yes, I agree that nowhere in the Bible does it say that empathy is a sin. Again, I don't think that it's not a mainstream Christian teaching. It's something that has gotten a lot of press in the popular media because of our current state of politics. That's all. Well, thanks, So East. Nick says, I just joined in and heard someone say that. Thank you. That's a problem. I've recently rekindled my faith and I've been hurt by the American version and weaponization of Christ. Well, yeah, I mean, I definitely appreciate you in the conversation then. I think, so I'm American as well, and American Christianity can be very insular and not always take into account the way that people around the globe experience their faith as well. Eltro says, tell us what you really believe. So I don't believe in anything supernatural, if that's what you're asking. Thanks, Daniel. Daniel says, if empathy is a sin, Sarah is definitely going to hell. Yeah, I mean, if there's no poverty in heaven, certainly there will be no charity workers. Yeah, Ecto, we would all be hellbound for sure. Alexa, thank you very much for asking permission if you could pray for me. I genuinely do appreciate the request. And yes, you are welcome to pray for me if you like. Thanks. Hey. Yeah, streaming with Justin is really fun. We definitely do the good cop, bad cop thing. Is there a reason you don't believe in heaven? I just don't have any evidence that it's real. Yeah, Hi says, I can't imagine experiencing joy in paradise if I'm aware that others are suffering eternally. And the most common answer I get from Christians is that you won't remember people who are not there. And I think that that's horrible. Yeah, well, thank you, Sulaski. Oh, thank you, Yusef. I appreciate it. Kat says, I don't have evidence if it's real. Do you understand there are things you can and can't prove with science? I do, yes. I am very aware of both the capabilities and the limitations of science. But when we're now talking about things we cannot demonstrate with science, how then are you going to determine what's real and what isn't? I do think that's why I am an agnostic atheist. So I don't claim that there's no possibility of a God. There could be a God. I just have no way to demonstrate its existence. I have an interview with Jenny on Life Take Two. Huh. Gosh, that was a long time ago. Ooh, Gregorian says, yeah, but people who are eternally suffering made that decision. One, no, I don't think they did. But let's say you're right. That doesn't mean you still won't be sad. Like, to me, that is such a lack of empathy. Like, if someone you love makes a bad decision and they end up going to prison and you barely get to see them anymore, maybe they are 100% responsible for their decision. And you're still going to be sad that you can't see them, unless you're going to say, nope, I don't care at all that they're suffering. Doesn't bother me in the least. I would be concerned that you genuinely don't experience any empathy. Yeah, Hi says, right. So your mind is stripped of memories in order to create eternal joy. This sounds like deliberate mind control and really tosses out the whole free will. Yeah, the idea of free will in heaven, I get different answers from Christians on that. But it is always in some way restricting your free will. Trace, I hope you can see what Alexa did when it comes to praying for people. Typing out a prayer just to show us that you prayed is not helpful. Alexa actually requested if she could pray for me, and then she did so privately. And that was really kind and respectful. What you're doing is not. Yeah, Kuro says eternal hellfire will never be just or loving, whether they made the decision or not. It will never be okay, no matter what deity makes it. Wayne says, I've been on my own since I was 14. For me, if I made it to heaven along with the people that abandoned me, would it really be heaven? Yeah. I mean, in the Christian model, there isn't a clear answer for that, right? Would God wipe your memory of what happened to you? Is God going to wipe all your memories and take away your ability to sin? I mean, is there anything of you left? Thanks, Nick. You too. Trace, why did you want me to see that though? Yeah, Seal says, if God perfects you in heaven, you won't be the same person. Absolutely. Love says, did I see you on Deconstruction Zone with Justin? Yeah, yeah. I hop on his lives on occasion. Yes, Dion, I do have eyes. Yeah, Duck says, absence of heaven was harder than the idea of hell for me. We want to see people again. Realizing you might not anyway because you went to heaven and they went to the other place. Just don't math. Yeah, I can't imagine that would be a comfort. You know, if you're a Christian and you believe that you're going to heaven, but someone you love passes away and they're going to hell, are you going to be comforted by the idea that when you go to heaven, their memory will just be erased? Luke says, what do you think? What do you do with 1 Timothy 2:12 that says women are not to teach men spiritual things? Honestly, I roll my eyes. That is what I do with that. Alexa says, there are so many things we as humans cannot understand. Imagine trying to tell a 5-year-old there's something better than, say, candy in his later life is hard because he can't comprehend. So I agree, Alexa, there are so many things we cannot comprehend. But imagine punishing that 5-year-old for eternity because they didn't make the right choice about something they couldn't comprehend. And you, as a parent, knew they couldn't comprehend it. And you didn't give them all the information they needed, and yet punished them for eternity based on something they couldn't fully comprehend. Exactly, Flip. Oh, thanks, Alan. Alan says, I have been binging the Evangelical Bible Study. That's on my page with me and Justin from Deconstruction Zone. And we just dropped a new episode today, like 2 hours ago, I think. Was that today? Oh my gosh, I don't even know. We have a new episode that's out, so please do check out our most recent episode on my page. Yeah, Kyle says, I can't get on board with a God that says worship me or else. Yeah. Thanks, hi. Mark says, your memory is not erased. That's nonsense. You enjoy perfect union with God in heaven. You won't be worried about anything. So, Mark, if you have loved ones who are suffering eternally, you just don't care? Yeah, Ekta says, the punished for eternity thing is really it for me. No just being would create that. Master Sergeant Razor, thank you so much for the super chat. Says, as a Christian, I'd love to discuss this in depth, but the chat flows by too fast to have a proper conversation. Yeah, I know. This format is not a good format to like go back and forth on one idea with one person. I do on my TikTok, I do bring people on Saturday nights. Also, sometimes I go on Justin from Deconstruction Zone's call-in show as well. You're also able to, if you want, if you go over to my TikTok, my DMs are open. Hey, Brent. And so you're also welcome to DM me over there. Chris says, if the punishment for sin is death, then why do Christians who believe Jesus took the punishment for them still have to die? Yeah, it is interesting. And you'll hear different answers. But certainly, if you think the punishment for sin is eternal suffering, Jesus didn't take that. Yeah, Hi says, I don't care if the suffering is a literal place or a state of mind. The doctrine of heaven and hell is contradictory and incompatible with a loving creator. Mark says, it's not that you don't care, it's the fact that you won't be worried. If they're in purgatory, you can pray for them while in heaven. How can you care and not be worried? Like, if you care about someone's suffering, that is an upsetting experience. Like what you're describing isn't possible. I did leave a Protestant denomination, yes. Mirror, I have read the Bible cover to cover. Have you? I have more peace now, Mirror. Duck says we should have a who hurt you counter for this live. Yeah, I did, Dr. Joe. Ugh, so much church hurt. I know. Oy. Well, listen, friends, it's about my bedtime. And I need to go to bed. I will not be on Thursday because it's Thanksgiving and I'll be with my family. Maybe Sunday night. I'll see. And in the meantime, yes, it's cereal time, exactly. Please do check out the Ex-Evangelical Bible Study on my page with Justin from Deconstruction Zone. And hope you like it. And I'll maybe see you Sunday. And anything else I need to tell you? You can come find me on TikTok if you had a question you needed to get answered. So hope you all have a wonderful evening. And yeah, you're welcome to contact me on TikTok. Have a great night.